WWII with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. This weekend marked 80 years since thousands of Taiwanese teenagers were sent to Japan to help the country's war efforts in the final days of World War II. Edinburgh was in the southern city of Kaohsiung for the unveiling of a memorial dedicated to their efforts and to learn more about Taiwan's role in the war.
A moment 8 decades in the making. A monument unveiled commemorating over 8,000 Taiwanese teenagers who volunteered to help the Japanese during the Second World War. It's a controversial memorial, though at that time, Taiwan was a colony of Japan. Those being remembered here were not soldiers, and many were no older than 13 at the time, enticed by high salaries and promises of qualifications after the war. They were recruited to help repair aircraft for the Japanese Navy, as part of a group known as the Xiaoniangong. 93-year-old Dong Junxian is one of the dozen or so surviving members of that group. Some 200,000 Taiwanese served the Japanese military during World War II, mostly in support roles like the Xiaoniangong, but 80,000 did see active combat.
People in Taiwan who fought in the Second World War are often thought of as being overwhelmingly Chinese. Those who came here after the war received state pensions and national honors. But many Taiwanese actually fought for Japan as citizens of the Japanese Empire. And for decades, they received no recognition at all.
Taiwan became a colony of Japan after China lost the First Sino-Japanese War in 1895. While there was plenty of Taiwanese resistance to the new rulers, by World War II, several generations of Taiwanese had already been educated as Japanese citizens. Many saw themselves as Japanese, but after the war, Taiwan was taken over by Chinese nationalists and the Republic of China, which at that point had been at war with Japan for nearly 10 years. That made it hard for Taiwanese who had served for the Japanese to talk about their experiences.
战争结束以后，政权转换，他们在日本是当少年宫，其实这后来的政权是属于敌对的关系，所以他们回到台湾以后，其实很多人不敢再去提起他们以前在日本的一些经验。
The Japanese military was responsible for numerous atrocities across Asia during the war, and that legacy continues to cloud relations between Tokyo and its neighbors. But unlike in China and Korea, where anti-Japanese sentiment is common, many in Taiwan are much less hostile to the Japanese view of the war.
在1945年之前，台湾也就是日本人。国家有战争、有国难的时候，我们身为国民，是不是应该付出我们的一个力量，去对抗外国？美国、英国也是为了他们国家的这个理念而战争。那我们台湾跟日本也是为了国家的理念而战争。
But far from being a consensus, there's also some resentment among Taiwanese of Japan's colonization and actions during World War II. Many of those in Taiwan's more China-friendly opposition party, the Kuomintang, or KMT, take a less favorable stance towards Japan, even as the father of the KMT's presidential candidate for 2024 was among the young volunteers who had repaired Japan's aircraft during the war. It's a complex and checkered history, with much not set in stone. But for the remaining dozen volunteers, this memorial is long overdue, marking a past of sacrifice and duty. Howard Zhang, Sam Hui, and Ed Moon for TaiwanPlus.
Every August, performers from around the world flock to Scotland for the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, the world's largest arts festival. This year, performers from Taiwan are bringing their unique form of circuit arts to the event. Yu Jing Huang has the story.
In the dark, light plays gently over the contours of these dancers' bodies, symbolizing an awakening of female consciousness. This piece, hashtag since 1994, is by Eye-Catching Circus, Taiwan's only circus troupe led by women. The performance art piece explores how women juggle societal expectations, physical autonomy, and feminism. It's just one of the shows that Taiwanese performers have brought to this year's Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Aside from offering a critical view on gender oppression, the creators also want to introduce Taiwanese circus arts to an international audience.
我觉得这个作品最重要传递给观众感受，最重要回到自己之外，还想要让国外的观众了解台湾、亚洲目前的马戏生态，我们现在关注的什么事情，关心什么事情，然后跟我们自己现在所面对的一个性别的意识抬头这件事情。
Another Taiwanese performance troupe, which also specializes in circus art, is 0471 Acrophysical Theater. Their piece Duo only involves 2 people for the entire production. Creator Sun Zhengxue hopes to visually symbolize a couple in a relationship through dance movements. The performers balance themselves delicately, exchange looks, and dodge one another, metaphorically depicting the mixture of love, anger, passion, and chaos in the ways romantic partners interact.
那它其实相较于欧洲目前的马戏，我认为是一个非常大的差异，是它用了单一的项目，然后去贯穿整支演出。然后整支演出并不是说像是以技术型的一直要叠高技术，而是去真的很扎实的在叙事上面这样子。
The Edinburgh Festival Fringe started decades ago to challenge the more mainstream Edinburgh International Festival. Since then, the event has changed the performance arts world. With that success has come a huge rise in its popularity and prominence, meaning it's also become far more difficult for the thousands of shows staged there to find a speak an audience. But the spirit for the festival remains the same. And any artist can come to the city to try and find some new fans, including those performers from Taiwan who are there to share their circus skills and art forms with the rest of the world. An Qimao, Klein Wan, and Eugene Huang for TaiwanPlus.
Farmers in Thailand are marking the new start of a new rice planting season with a buffalo race. It's tradition for a southeastern Thai province. But as Kaohsiung reports, farmers this year are voicing their concerns about climate change.
And they're off. Water buffaloes charge through muddy water to mark the start of a new rice planting season. It's an annual custom in the Napa sub-district of Chonburi province in Thailand, about a 90-minute drive from the capital Bangkok.
มันก็สนุกดีนะตื่นเต้นแต่เราก็ตกใจนิดนึงเพราะว่ากลัวมันจะกระโดดข้ามมาทางนี้ไง
Over 60 buffaloes raced along a 200-meter dirt track in the scorching heat. But don't worry, as the stars of the show and the upcoming harvest, the buffaloes are well taken care of.
มันร้อนเราก็ต้องลดให้มันหายเหนื่อยเหมือนนักมวยพักยกเราก็ต้องมาเช็ดตัวมัน
But some farmers were preoccupied with other concerns during the spirited occasion. Though Thailand officially entered its rainy season in July, farmers said there has been a noticeable drop in rainfall this year. Some are even preparing for a severe drought.
มันก็มีร้อนปีนี้ฝนจะตกอย่างน้อยเห็นไหมใช่ครับปีนี้ฝนจะตกน้อยทุกทีมันจะท่วมกว่านี้แล้วนะปีนี้มันก็ตก
Thailand's not the only country that's seen stronger abnormal climate patterns recently. Here in Taiwan, southern regions have battled several months of historic drought. Other areas in the country now face the opposite problem of torrential rains, floods, and mudslides triggered by Typhoon Khanun. Analysts say such extreme weather patterns will only become more common.
I think it will happen more frequently in the future because the global warming, sea level rise, sea temperature going up, and also the El Nino events linked together.
Thai weather officials are also bracing for the El Nino effect. As for the rice farmers, all they can do amidst uncertain climates is take care of their trusty partners in the field, the water buffaloes, and hope for a good harvest. John Su and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave with images of endangered gravy zebras at Whipsmead Zoo in London. I'm Sandy Chi, take care and see you next time.